Yeah, we're live. And I don't know. Yes, people, we're back and you're keeping it locked with the real Gunner Lee. And I'm back with another video. Back to dissect the Arsenal versus Norwich game. 5-0 to the Arsenal. We said it's a late Christmas present, Boxing Day gift wrap present for the Arsenal. 5 big goals, 3 more points. That means halfway through the season, 19 games in, I believe Arsenal is fourth place currently, 6 points, I think, at this time to Chelsea. And I mean, if we had said this at the start of the season, I'm pretty sure a lot of Arsenal fans would have taken that. So, a big performance, and we're just gonna kind of break it down and see what's it's about. So going into the game, we kind of had the same starting 11. The only exception really is Tomiyasu. And instead of Tomiyasu, we brought in Holding, Ben White, who's played right back before. We had a conversation about this in the preseason in one of my videos that they did say he played right back. Not really getting that many crosses and that stuff at the right back position. But he didn't really need to do that this game. Holding held that right centre back position. Gabriel on the left centre back. Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, our normal midfield. Odegaard playing in there in midfield in that cam position. On the right wing forward, I like to say the right inside forward, left inside forward. Saka and Martinelli, and then through the middle, you don't know King like a captain, like a leading the line. And I mean, it started off great for the Arsenal. First 5 minutes in, we get a big goal. I think the move starts from Tierney getting the ball high up the pitch, which is a point that we're going to touch on later on in the video. Us Arsenal winning the ball in the opponent's half of the field, getting the ball up quickly, moving it quickly. I think it goes from Tierney to Laka, Laka, quick 1-2 to Martinelli. Martinelli dribbles it a bit in forward, gives it to Odegaard. Odegaard, holds the ball, and this is one thing Odegaard does well. He holds the ball in tight spaces and knows just the right time to let it off and gives it to Saka. Saka cuts it in, whips it with the left foot. Keeper is close to it, but can't do enough to make it 1-0 to the Arsenal. And we kind of control it from there. I mean, I really want to big up Thomas Partey because I've been harsh on Partey because I just don't think he's been, what we expected so far. But this is more that we like it. This is more what we want in terms of seeing what Partey can do. I think he was in the right positions defensively, not really having to make specific tackles, but not giving up the ball at all, people, in terms of, just holding the ball and not giving it away. I think he had one bad pass that I can really remember in the game. The rest of the passes were precise, quick. He held the ball well, a good build up play with Odegaard. I think Odegaard was just doing amazing in terms of getting space in these little pockets and letting it off, linking well with Martinelli, Xhaka, Partey, especially as I said before. So it was a really good thing to watch, people. And then in the 26th minute, I think we did the same thing. Um, winning the ball up high, and I think Saka gets the ball on the right. Saka does well to cut in, cut back out, and I mean that's just the mainstay of our team too. Saka just doing well to cut in right, cut over on the right, get a crossover to Laka. Laka can't really get too much of a direction on it, and that could have been 2-0 for us early. And I did see in early in the 30th minute, Martinelli getting a bunch of space on the left. Him and Xhaka, that left side, Tierney getting a lot of space over there, and we're building up through the left. So it's more dynamic from Arsenal, and that's a big deal for us. A lot of the times it's either like we only go to the left with Tierney or we only have an outlet with Saka alone. But today it was some on the right, some on the left. It was quick movement, and we kind of saw that for the second goal, people. And the second goal, 42 minutes in, just 1-0 is looking like Norwich is about to be the happy of the both teams because we dominate the whole first half. Only 1-0, and it kind of want to get that assurance goal. And speaking of the assurance goal, that's what we did in terms of Gilmore getting the ball in from Norwich. And again, we win the ball in their half, people. You have to think about this. We're winning the ball in their half, getting position quickly. I think Martinelli gets the ball, gets it to White. White gives it back to Martinelli on the right. Martinelli looks quickly into Odegaard, and I mean this touch. And I tell you about him getting the ball in these spaces, getting the position, shifting the ball onto his left foot, and giving a sweet one, like two touch balls straight to Tierney. Tierney does well to touch it one time and then whips it across the keeper over there, bombarding on the left. So that makes it 2-0 to the Arsenal. And I mean, it's just great going into the half, 2-0 up, well deserved kind of boss in the game. Not really any chances there for Norwich for us to speak about. So I mean, 2-0 in is good times. That's what I can do between Brandon. And then now we're going to the second half, kind of more of the same, keeping control of the game. And I think this is one of the star goals of the day, or one of the best goals. I think it's definitely the best goal of the day. The ball gets it, I think there's a quick 1-2 there with Laka. Laka gets the ball quickly over to Saka. Quick ball movement left to right from back to front that we've been doing the whole game. And then Saka just kind of gets Brandon Williams one-on-one, and I think Norwich didn't do a good job. In the last few games, we noticed that Saka kind of getting bombarded with people, double team, triple team, not giving him that time and space on the ball. Unfortunately for Brandon Williams, it's like his teammates didn't read the scouting report that Saka Dino is in form, people. It's not the start of the season. He now have the hangover from the Euros. The man is in full form, full flex. And I think him just take him out. Him just take him out to the party, show him a little 1-2 step. Him Nigerian, so him kind of a little more flair. And Brandon Williams, we don't really know where him come from, but him don't know them style there. So 1-2 inside, outside, and then just kind of whip it. A much better shot than the first goal for Saka, making it 3-0 to the Arsenal, and his job well done. But it's even more well done because we continued to keep on the pressure, people. Switching on El Neni for Partey because we have a game against Wolves, which at this point it seems like it may be called off. But we'll see later on in terms of that. Partey, I said, coming off for El Neni. Pepe switching, coming on for Saka. Martinelli coming off for Smith Rowe. And that boy Smith Rowe looking like the super sub. A lot of people want him in this lineup, want him in this squad, in the starting 11. And I think, honestly, if we do play that game against Wolves, I could see a team where Odegaard and Smith Rowe kind of start with Partey, because Partey was playing kind of more of a lone DM this game. Shaka playing the whole game. You could see them like change for that, but with 5-0, which the game ended up, not too much of exertion for the team going on in this tough stretch of games. And then in terms of the fourth goal, people, I think it's just a quick 1-2 against Smith Rowe to Laka. Laka back to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe has Pepe running over there on the right wing, looks over to him, no look pass, people. And it's not like basketball, it's like a Steve Nash pass right into the pocket. And Laka does his stuff. Laka is great at controlling the ball. To me, not one of his best games in terms of just hold up play and linking, but it was still good. It was still a 7-8 for Laka in terms of his game. And then he does well to get the foul, draw the foul. And he don't know what Laka does, you know what I mean, in terms of putting the ball in the net at the penalty spot. I think he's only missed like one penalty for us in the up team at times. The man has taken penalties. So big up to Laka, the captain gets on the score sheet, and that'll do him a huge load of confidence. So big up to that. And then I tell you, Smith Rowe, the wonder boy, you don't know, Emil Smith Rowe and Saka, and then Emil Smith Rowe. Rowe cannot stop producing, people, and giving Odegaard headaches, but Odegaard is doing amazing with the 2 assists in the first half, and just the type of just how key is into the build-up play. It's just hard to get any of these guys out of the lineup, and it's another nice play, another nice build-up. I think it's Odegaard who gets it over to Pepe too, holding up the ball, getting that ball to Pepe. Pepe tries to get a shot, kind of gets deflected, muffled over, gets across the screen of the goal. Guess who's there? Emil Smith Rowe, people, and that's 5-0. That's probably about 5 goals and five for Smith Rowe, something crazy like that. At least 3-3, and I mean it's big time for Arsenal. It's another W. We're going up that table. We're in fourth place halfway through the season. And I mean, it's a good time to be a Gunner. I just want to tell everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And Arsenal giving us that Merry Christmas joy, that Christmas cheer is back. And I didn't want to keep this video that long, but I'm just gonna give you guys my lowdown and my player ratings just because this was one of those games where I think the team deserves that. In terms of Ramsdale, that's to be a 9. I think he just did well in terms of anything that he had to do. I think he had one chance where he had to run out, and see the ball early and kind of run out of his box and clear it. I think in terms of his ability to foresee the game and see when he's needed to step out is a lot better than Leno. And I think the goal that we conceded to Southampton, I think in the League Cup it was. I think that goal wouldn't have been conceded if Ramsdale was there. Ramsdale is just on it in terms of passing the ball, ball retention, and just sniffing out the chances and danger. And so Ramsdale is a 9. Ben White playing in right back, which he doesn't often play. I think he did well in terms of the defensive portion of the game. Offensively, I don't think he offered that much over there on the right. There's a few times where he gave the ball away cheaply and was caught upfield. But I think we just did well to control that in terms of defense. So not really going too hard on Ben. Ben gets a 7 for me. In the left centre back, my baller Gabriel, he don't know, shining teeth man himself. He gets a 9. I don't think he had that much to do. I have just one pass, I think, to Martinelli early in the first half. That's his only misplaced pass that I can think of. Massive. Anytime, you have a centre back, you don't really see him doing anything, just passing the ball out front. I mean, he's him doing his job, and I think he did really well. Holding did really well. I think he gets a 9 too in terms of, filling that position for Ben White. They did well. Sometimes Holding would go over the right, Ben White would switch over depending on the play. And I think they just did well there in terms of the whole back line. Tierney getting a goal. Getting a goal also, winning the ball for the first goal. I think Tierney was impressive today. He kind of died down a little bit more, I think, into the second half. So for me, Tierney gets a 9 as well, even though he scored. Probably should get like a 9.5 more than the other guys. But Tierney gets a 9 for me. Partey, I think this is one of Partey's best games, people. And I'm not over exaggerating. I know he scored for us before in terms of win, but in terms of just his ball possession where he was, he didn't really have to do that much on defense, I know. But in terms of what he had to do in terms of build up play, passing the ball, getting the retention of the ball, I think he was really good. And that's what more of what we want to see from Partey. So he gets an 8. Shaka also did decently well. But both of them, getting into foul trouble, yellow cards and stuff of the sort. Xhaka will get a 7 from me just because of that. I don't think his yellow, although I don't think he should have gotten that yellow card. So a bit harsh. I think Xhaka gets a 7 for me for the game. In terms of Odegaard, I mean, all he needed was a goal just to make it a perfect 10, but I'm going to give Odegaard a 10 today just because I think he was so pivotal and key in terms of the build-up play. Saka gets a 10 for me in terms of build-up play. Martinelli was everywhere, tenacious, getting shots off. Just never came off in terms of a goal or assist for him today, but I think he was everywhere. Martinelli gets a 9 for me. Laka leading the line as a captain. Should I said not his best game, but Laka gets an 8. And Arteta for keeping the same team. Switching these players, he gets a 10 for me in terms of switching these players out, the Partes, the Saka, the Martinelli, getting them the rest, finishing out the game 5-0 strong away from home. We're building momentum. The Arsenal train is back. And I see the bandwagon filling up again. Yes, people, we're looking like we're getting that top 4 spot. We just have to keep this going. And I don't know. Thank you guys for keeping it locked with me. If you like what you see already, like, subscribe, share up the thing, join the Yardie Army, people. Arsenal, keep it moving. Come on, you Gunners. Happy holidays.